Hey guys, it's Dan with Farmscape Foods and Catering here again. It's a beautiful spring morning. I'm in the food trailer here, and I have some beautiful spring products to show you here. We have our purple and green asparagus from Hayward Farm out of Cobble Hill. You can get this through the Sweet Meadows Market in Mill Bay. And then we also have the white icicle radishes from Dancing Dandelion Farm. And last week we showed you a few different ways to utilize radish tops. This week I'm going to show you how to do a quick pickle on those guys to extend the shelf life on them, and a marinate on the asparagus as well to do the same. We're using both of these for our Mother's Day menu coming up, and yeah, I'll get everything together here and then show you how it's done. Alright, so I have everything together for the asparagus, and first, when you're processing asparagus, if they're not uniform size, you want to try and process them in a way that they're going to cook evenly, because what we're going to do with this is we're going to blanch them for a couple minutes just to take some of that bite off. We still want nice crisp asparagus, but right now it's quite firm, so we're going to blanch them in salted water for just a couple minutes. But yeah, when you're cutting them up, some pieces are going to be quite thick, and so with the spears on the big ones, I've cut them in half, and then I've made fairly thin rounds from those, and then with thinner ones, I've just left the spears whole. So you can use the stalk, save the scraps and ends of the asparagus for stock or broth. And then for a recipe for this, it's pretty rough here. There'll be one in the description, but it's not going to be you won't be able to do exactly what I'm doing, just because my herbs, I'm using a small bunch of anise, a small bunch of lovage, and some thyme. And that if you don't have it, you can use parsley instead of lovage. Really whatever you want if you have it in your garden or wherever you get it from. You can use tarragon, thyme, parsley, so whatever you have. And then we have red onions here, small dice, about a half a red onion, 4 cloves of garlic minced, and then we have a spice mix here of just dill seed and chili flakes. Not too much. Dill seed a little bit goes a long way with it. And what we're going to use for the dressing is we have this really awesome Pinot Noir vinegar from Salt Spring Vinegar Company, and we have the display bottle here so you can see that. There'll be a link to her website in the description as well, and we're just using that and olive oil and then salt and pepper, and that's pretty much it. So I'll show you next how to blanch these guys and then how to dress it. Alright guys, so you can see I have some boiling salted water here, and what I'm going to do is cook this for just about a minute or so, and I'll do this in 2 batches. The best way to know when it's done is just by tasting it, so that's what you're going to have to do. You want it still to have, you know, some crispness to it, but yeah, do it in 2 batches if you have a lot. If not, just do it in 1. Give it a little bit of a stir, and yeah, just taste it after about a minute, and then cook it until it's fairly tender, and then make sure you have ice water to put it in when it's done. And what we'll do is we'll just let it cool down in the ice water, drain it, remove it from the ice water and drain it on a towel, and then we'll dress it after that. Alright guys, so we've blanched our asparagus. We have it on a towel drying here. The one note on that is when you put it into the ice water to cool it down quickly, make sure you don't leave it in there too long. It can get waterlogged pretty easily, so I'd say about 5 minutes in there is as much as you'd want to do for such small pieces. Alright, so I have the seeds in here with the herbs, the garlic, and the onions, and what we're going to do is add a good whack of salt right now, pepper, and then about a ½ cup, I'd say, of the vinegar, and 1½ cups of olive oil. Now, you want to you want to do this so that it's about 1 part oil, or 1 part vinegar to 3 parts oil. You don't have to worry about emulsifying it. We're just mixing it here, and before we add our asparagus in here, we'll just taste it here. Yeah, so that's pretty spot on for the ratio of vinegar to oil. So what we'll do is we'll add a little more salt, pepper, add the asparagus in there, and we're going to leave it overnight in the bowl. So we'll give it a good thorough mix. And then we'll wrap it and leave it in the fridge overnight. And then it's good to go. Pretty simple, but it's really bright, nice flavor. And this will last probably 2 weeks or so in the fridge. So it's something that you can, if you want to make a bunch, you want to make a batch this size, and just eat it over the course of a couple weeks, you can do that and extend your asparagus season that way. Alright, so next I'm going to show you how to pickle those radishes up. Alright guys, so pickled radishes, super simple here. When you cut them up, aim for about 1/8 of an inch thick. Any thicker, you'll probably want to boil them in your jar for a little bit. Any thinner, and you might have them turn into mush, so you'll probably want to do a cold pickle on them. What we're going to do is we have fresh garlic, fresh thyme. We'll throw those in with the radishes now, and then we're going to boil together rice wine vinegar, water in equal parts, sugar, and a spice mix with pink peppercorns, black peppercorns, salt, anise seed, celery seed, and allspice. So we boil all that together, turn it off, let it steep for about 15 minutes, bring it back to a boil, and then pour it over top of your radishes. So I'll get everything together here, and then I'll show you when I'm pouring it over the radishes and how I seal up these tubs. You can use plastic tubs like this if you don't have jars. I'll show you how to do that. And yeah, that's it, and I'll show you what's next. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have my garlic and thyme in with the radishes, and then I have my hot liquid here, so I'm going to pour enough just to cover it. This was just boiling. touch more. And that should do it right there. And you want to give them a little bit of a mix. And then what I do, if you're using a Rubbermaid or some kind of plastic tub, rinse off some paper towel and then wring it out when you're done, and put this right over top. What this does is it just makes sure that any of the radishes that are going to float to the top aren't going to dry out on the surface. You can see how now it's soaked all the liquid up. And then we take some plastic wrap over top. And I put the lid right on top. And we'll put this in the fridge, let it cool down, let it saturate for a couple days, and it should be good to go. So that's pickled radishes, guys. You can kind of get a good look in there. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to give these recipes a try, there's detailed recipes in the description below. There's also a link to our online ordering where you can get some of our food and see what we're all about. Also, there's a link to the co-op. You can get our food as well as products from dozens of other local suppliers delivered straight to your door every week, so give that a look. Don't forget about the Duncan Farmers Market this Saturday from 10 until 2. You can get flowers for your mom for Mother's Day. You can get potentially asparagus, radishes, so you can give these recipes a try. If you've liked what you've seen from us so far, if you'd like this content, give us a like and a subscribe. And whatever way you do it, don't forget, support local. Thanks, guys.